What's up, guys? Welcome to a special edition of Osborne and McCarty. We're here to hit on a topic, and I believe other MMA video guys on YouTube will either respond or make a video as well, on the judging and scoring system of the UFC. As you know, it's been under a lot of heat and some questionable decisions lately. Don't even mention Carl Parisian. I will come in and rock your world. Don't even.
Carl!
Okay, let's talk three different areas here. Rounds, scoring, rules. Rounds first. As you know, UFC has 3 5-minute rounds and 5 5-minute rounds for title fights. Other organizations like Dream, they have their first round go 10 minutes and their second round go 5 minutes. So it's still 15 minutes of fighting, but the first round is going to get the fighter going out a little bit longer. So, Jared, do you think the 3 5-minute rounds is a good way to go, or do you think we should take a page from Dream and other organizations and go their route?
I think UFC's got it right. I think the 3 5-minute rounds is a lot more exciting. I think Dream and all that, I think the first round is just, sometimes you get people laying on each other, not doing much, you know. Just
conserving energy.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make for a great fight.
It's not all that exciting, so I think UFC has a good, 3 5-minute rounds.
So we'll keep it.
I'd say so.
All right. All right, on to scoring. As you know, UFC uses the 10-round must system. Other organizations, like Dream, score the fight as a whole, which when I first saw that, I'm like, that's pretty cool, because that stops, fighters from getting robbed in a decision because they're not going round by round. They're looking at what happened as a whole. But honestly, either method, I think that, it should both come to the same conclusion, whether it's looking at everything as a whole or looking at each round in the fight. If it's judged properly and the rules in place are solid, they should come to the same conclusion. Matt, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. My only, I don't know if you really call it a complaint, my only thought as to the, the 10-point must scoring system that we use in UFC right now is be less stingy with handing out 10-8 rounds. That, that being said, also be less stingy about handing out even rounds, because I don't want to see a guy win a fight just because they have to choose somebody to win the fight. If it's even, it's even. Carl.
I knew it was coming eventually.
But no, it's like, okay, what? Rashad Evans got an even fight against Tito because of penalty. Yeah, that doesn't need to be the only way it happens. I don't want to see somebody win a fight just because they have to pick a winner. I think that's idiotic.
So if both fighters are deserving of a 10 in that round, they both get 10s.
Yeah, giving a guy a win over another guy, if he's actually trying, I understand that. But guys like Forrest Griffin and Stephan Bonner in their first fight, you got to pick a winner out of that fight. They're both giving it their all. Somebody actually deserves to win that fight. And that's what I got to say about scoring.
Rules. All right, this is where we're probably going to get in a lot of heat, and we're going to get a lot of comments either loving or hating us. UFC rules, whoever has the best striking, grappling, aggression, and
octagon control.
All right, let's talk about each one of those. Striking. Whoever has the better hands, lands more strikes, is going to get the points, right?
Yeah.
I think we can, agree that striking is safe.
It's pretty definitive.
Yeah, I'm happy with where they've gone with these. Like you were mentioning, Griffin and Bonner, their first fight. Another good example of a stand-up battle: Spencer Fisher, Sam Stout. I thought the winner that they picked in those, considering it was all stand-up, was correct. So yeah. I don't think that's under a lot of heat. Grappling. This is where we're going to get into a little deeper water here. Whoever's better in a clinch and it does more work on the ground is going to get points for better grappling. Is that correct?
I think that's the way it goes right now. I have some questions about, do they score physical positions over, actual tactical positions, like Nate Diaz versus Clay Guida? I'm not just saying this because I picked Nate Diaz. Really, was Clay scoring points, having his arm locked into Kimura and getting swept a couple times? Seriously, was he scoring points there? Was he not in a worse position? I don't know.
Now, when I said whoever's better in the clinch, that is the key word right there. Now, this is where I want to hear what you guys have to say. The UFC is defining better in grappling by having top position and more takedowns. Yeah. Now, you could probably argue that point, but watch some fights where the decision went one way or the other and you agreed or disagreed with it. Most of the time, they're going to give the points to whoever was in top position, whether they're doing anything or not.
Or locked in a Kimura.
That's when I get really pissed. Now, I think a takedown is definitely worthy of points, but not as many points as they're giving it right now.
Yeah.
Because to me, a takedown is a means to an end. It's step one to get the person down. Step two should be offense immediately. And offense, I mean passing guard, landing shots, submission attempts. How many times have you seen a guy go for the takedown just to get out of some trouble that he was in?
Oh, a lot.
Somebody gets clipped and they're a little,
Hold on for dear
dozy.
life.
Yeah, go after the guy, take him down. How many times in a fight, with 15 seconds left in the round, is the corner guy is going, go for the takedown, go for the takedown.
Yeah.
That pisses me off, and the fact that it's gotten to that point is wrong, and I think UFC can correct that very easily by taking some of the points away from their scoring when it comes to takedowns and grappling. Okay, next one, aggression. That is a tough word. How do you define what aggression is in a fight? I looked up the word in a dictionary. Any offensive action, attack, or procedure. Isn't that pretty much anything you're doing in a fight? Offensive action, attack, or procedure. That's not clear enough. So, Jared, what is aggression to you?
Well, some people would say, yeah, takedowns, that's aggression, but if you're not doing anything afterwards, is it considered aggression? I think if someone's being aggressive off their back, trying to put someone in submission, that's aggression too. It's a hard thing to call,
I think aggression should be categorized, and Matt, I want to hear your thoughts on this too.
Okay.
Aggression should be categorized as the person who is working the hardest to finish the fight. You agree?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, being effective, you don't even have to be effective. Who's working harder trying to do something? I mean, aggression. Who's going after it? There you go.
Now, octagon control. That's another area. Do you consider that whoever's pushing the pace of the fight or whoever's doing the most damage?
It's kind of like such a gray, mysterious octagon control. I want to find a judge and ask him what their definition of octagon control is when they're scoring.
Yes.
I mean, is octagon control getting taken down because you want to be there and walking on the fence and getting into a better position? Is that octagon control, even though the guy did what he wanted to do in taking you down? I mean, it's weird.
It's a gray area. I definitely agree with you there, and that's why I think UFC could solve a lot of problems by being more clear. Octagon control sounds cool.
Yeah.
Especially when Goldie says it on UFC Unleashed, but
It's
what does that exactly mean? Lastly, and this is the last point I want to hit on, I think a new category should be added. We've talked about striking, grappling, aggression, octagon control, damage. That's what I like to see, because I've seen way too many fights where the guy whose hand is raised is beat in, looks like raw hamburger meat. To me, the guy didn't win that fight. Now, that can't be the only thing that you're scoring, but that should be definitely a piece of the overall puzzle. You can score in striking, grappling, and the rest, but damage should definitely come in there too. Do you guys agree with that?
I completely agree.
What do you think, Jared?
I think, damage, you might see someone with a bruised up face or something, but really, I think it's mostly in their composure, like how they're acting after a round,
Yeah.
I think that comes into play.
Yeah, most definitely, because, BJ had to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
His face didn't
He
look...
looked fine.
Yeah, really. I mean, he got a slight cut under his eye, but BJ has freaking alligator skin. So the fact that they had to throw in the towel at the end was showing that damage-wise, GSP was dishing it out big time. So I think UFC could do, a lot of good by just clarifying a little bit more in the rules and going more offensive-minded. Because let's be honest, you go to these live events, whenever it hits the ground, nothing's happening, you start hearing the boos and stuff.
Yeah.
And not that you should go just on that, but this is entertainment. People want to see offense. You're going to go to a basketball game where the guy's just dribbling the ball the whole time?
Pass.
Dribbling and passing are all part of the game, but if no one's taking shots, he wants to see that crap. So come on. UFC can really make this a lot easier for us if you just clarify a little bit more. Let us know what you're thinking about it. But guys, that is it for us. I know we're going to get a lot of comments on this. Go easy. This is just our opinion, but please, if you have something to add to this or you want to clarify a little bit more in a certain area that we touched on, definitely do that, because this is all about you guys. We want to hear your feedback. But guys, that is it. I'm Josh Osborne.
Matt McCarty.
Jared McCarty.
And we will catch you at the next topic.